Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dig into a term you've probably heard thrown around a lot, change enablement. But we're not going to treat it like some boring, bureaucratic process. No, we're going to look at it for what it really is, a powerful, strategic objective for any company that wants to succeed. All right, let's get into it. So, let's just start with the answer right up front. This one sentence, this is the entire mission. It's all about this incredible balancing act. On one side, you're trying to innovate. You're trying to push forward and get things done fast. But on the other, you've got to protect your services and keep everything stable. This quote right here, it just perfectly captures that tension. Okay, so building on that core mission, here's our working definition. Now, the keywords you got to focus on here are structured approach and actively controlling. This isn't about crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. It's about building a deliberate, detailed, and repeatable playbook that guides every single change, from the initial idea all the way to go live. It's how you get all of the upside without that catastrophic downside. Now that we've got a handle on what it is, let's really unpack why it is so incredibly valuable. We're going to break this down into two big parts. And first up are the proactive gains. Think of this as your offense. This is how change enablement actively helps you score points and push the business forward. The two big wins in this category are all about speed and alignment. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a process possibly make you faster? It sounds completely backwards, right? But we're going to break down exactly how having a solid structure actually cuts through the chaos and creates velocity. And second, we'll see how it acts like a compass, making sure all that speed is pointed in the exact right direction, straight at your business goals. So, how does this actually work in the real world? Well, imagine a company trying to rush out a new app feature for a huge holiday sale. Without a clear process, everything gets stuck. It's endless meetings, technical debates, approval bottlenecks. It's a mess. But with change enablement, the steps are defined, the risks are flagged super early, and everybody knows exactly what they need to do. That clarity means changes just flow smoothly. And the result? You get valuable new features out to your customers way faster, which, in today's market, is a massive, massive advantage. And that leads perfectly to our second big gain. See, change enablement forces everyone to have a really crucial conversation. Does this cool IT change actually help us achieve a business goal? It literally builds a bridge between the tech teams doing the work and the strategists who set the company's direction. This makes sure you're not just making changes for technology's sake. It guarantees that every deployment is directly helping to drive revenue, improve efficiency, or make customers happier. All right, so we've covered the offense. Now let's flip the coin and talk defense. If part one was about moving forward, part two is about not falling backward. This is all about how a structured approach becomes a protective shield for the entire organization, preventing those self-inflicted wounds that can be so damaging. And the two main pillars of this shield are stability and compliance. It really boils down to minimizing expensive mistakes and making sure you are playing by the rules. And let's be honest, in the world we live in today, with all the complex regulations out there, that stuff is completely non-negotiable. Now, what's so important to understand here is the ripple effect. A failed change isn't just some small technical glitch. It can mean your whole system goes down. And that means lost revenue, angry customers, and a frantic all-hands-on-deck emergency to fix it. A formal process with proper risk assessment, with detailed testing, with solid backup plans, it just dramatically lowers the odds of that nightmare scenario ever happening. And here's a point that can literally save a company millions of dollars. For so many industries, being able to prove how and why a change was made isn't just good practice, it's a legal requirement. Change enablement gives you that clear, undeniable audit trail. It documents everything: who asked for the change, who signed off on it, when it went live, and what happened. This turns audits from a terrifying fire drill into a straightforward, almost boring task. This slide just lays it all out in stark contrast, doesn't it? I mean, look at the left side. That's the Wild West approach. High risk, you never know what's going to happen, and you're always putting out fires. Then look at the right. That's the world with change enablement. It's stable, it's predictable, you're compliant, and you're getting ahead of risks instead of just reacting to them. It's really the difference between just hoping things go well and actually engineering success. Okay, so let's tie it all together. We've looked at the proactive, forward-moving benefits, the offense. We've looked at the protective, defensive shield. Now let's put it all into one single, powerful picture of business value. This table really is the whole story in a nutshell. Look at how every single value proposition we talked about connects directly to a critical business impact. Faster speed to market isn't just about being quick. It's about agility and driving revenue. Reduced failed changes isn't just a tech metric, it's about the fundamental stability and reliability of your entire business. So the main takeaway is this: change enablement isn't an IT process. It's a business value engine that drives both growth and protection. And that brings us to our final thought for the day. As you think about your own team or your own company, just ask yourself this one question. Are you deliberately engineering success with a structured, detailed approach? Or are you just showing up every day to manage the chaos of constant, unmanaged change? The answer to that question really says everything about your ability to innovate safely and effectively. Thanks for tuning in.